So hello and welcome to the post-lunch show presented by DFC First Bank, and a very good start for Team India despite losing Yashasvi Jaiswal early on because of the mix-up. It has been a good start. 27 overs were bowled in the first session. 101 for 1 is Team India at lunch, and so far Devdutt Padikkal has looked very fluent ever since he has come his first innings at number 3. He's currently batting at 35, and KL Rahul 32 of 77 deliveries. Yes, he has looked a bit circumspect, but has been rock solid. Apart from a few deliveries that has turned away from KL Rahul, it has been a very convincing knock so far from both Devdutt Padikkal and KL Rahul, Karnataka batters who have batted together so far for so long. And if you talk about the bowling, there hasn't been a lot of help for the boss. Yes, an odd ball has turned for Prabhat Jayasuriya and for Kesharan Nuwanta, the debutant. But so far the wicket has looked very good for the batting at that, and that's why 100 over 100 runs have been scored in the first session. Devishish, what do you make of the first session?
Yeah, it has been a confident out display by Indian batters, except for that hiccup between KL Rahul and Yashasvi Jaiswal, which eventually lost to Yashasvi Jaiswal. He was quite upset with him because, in fact, it was KL Rahul's call, but all of a sudden Yashasvi Jaiswal, he took one step and then decided to turn back, but it was too late. So I think that was an unfortunate part. But ever since then, Devdutt Padikkal, he has been looking solid. Few swift shots as well. Sri Lanka obviously reposing to spinners as early as 9th over, so there there will be turn on offer, but obviously not drastic turn. An odd ball here and there has taken turn, but so far it has been a solid display of batting by the um, um, two Indian batters.
And coming to that Yashasvi Jaiswal, if you see before Yashasvi Jaiswal's dismissal, he was the aggressor in the innings. Obviously, KL Rahul was taking his time against the Pacers, against the pace duo of Asita Fernando and Lahiru Kumara. Asita bowled well. Lahiru Kumara did conceded a lot of runs in his first spell, looked out of shot. He was bowling everywhere, but the way KL Rahul and Yashasvi Jaiswal negotiated the first spell by the Pacers, and then they took on the spinners. Obviously, especially Yashasvi Jaiswal was looking set, was looking good for a big total, and that's what we talked about in the pre-match show as well. That Yashasvi Jaiswal just needs a start before he gets a platform to capitalize on that and build on the innings. But unfortunately, he got out. Like Devashish mentioned, it was KL Rahul's call, and then Kesharan Nuwanta fell on his feet, and then obviously Yashasvi couldn't reach the other end, and unfortunate dismissal. But Devashish, who was at fault? Would you say Yashasvi Jaiswal should have turned back?
I think Kesara Nuwanta by diving that sort of disturbed Yashasvi Jaiswal. I think had it not been the case, then that would have been a clear run. It would have been any time it would have been a single. But I think that Kesara Nuwanta that he tried to stop the ball, and then Yashasvi Jaiswal fell down. I think that was a clear. Means obviously the communication should have been loud and clear, which was not the case. I think so. Quite clearly, Yashasvi Jaiswal was quite upset with himself because he looked good to score a big knock here. Because these are ideal conditions for batting.
But when KL Rahul saw that Yashasvi Jaiswal is down on his knees, should he have been stopped at the midway?
Absolutely. That is the reason, because by the time Yashasvi Jaiswal realized it was too late, because and he started coming back, and then KL Rahul almost crossed the halfway crease. So and it was point of no return for both the batters, and that is what happened. So unfortunate dismissal, I would say. 47 the score was. Ideally, India, as we mentioned in our pre-match live as well, the onus will be on the opening batters, because India would like to score bat only once. Already they are 100 up on the board, 101 for one, and they would like to capitalize on the start given by the top 3 batters as much as they bat, because these are ideal conditions to bat on.
Let's talk about the 2 individuals who are out there in the middle, unbeaten. First, KL Rahul. Devashish, KL Rahul, the vice captain, he has played in these conditions, one of the most senior batters of this team. And the way he started, obviously looked a bit circumspect, But as he progressed in his innings, started playing four more shots against the spinners, especially against Prabhat Jasuria, coming down the wicket, using his feet really well, defending, and then playing the back foot shots really well, which you saw at the nets as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and that is the trademark sort of KL Rahul, the back foot punches. In fact, and KL Rahul in great form. That speaks that KL Rahul is getting back his mojo. And obviously, that is what you want. And also, I think that more than heartening will be the form as we speak. It has started drizzling. So that might be an area of concern. It has started drizzling. Obviously, it was pretty overcast when just before the 1 hour before lunch was taken. But as we speak, lunch has already been taken, but it has already started drizzling, slight drizzle, but at the same time, sun is out as you can see. But talking about Devdutt Padikkal, he did play a few straight shots as well. He has been practicing this shot a lot in the nets here in Sri Lanka, and it was already on display. He did strike a few of the sweep shots, and KL Rahul, and obviously much and being the senior batter and also the vice captain, he would want to capitalize and that too in the first innings.
Devasis, there have been many voices saying the way wicket has played. Obviously, Yashasvi Jaiswal, when he got out, his strike rate was more than 80. But if you look at KL Rahul's strike rate by the end, by the lunch, his strike rate was less than 50 on a wicket, which is not offering a lot to the pacers or spinners. Do you think KL Rahul can play more freely, can play more shots because these are the batting conditions which are ideal if with the match progresses, the spinners will definitely come more into the play.
Yeah, absolutely. The ball will become softer as well, and the stroke making will be difficult spinner here, as you rightly said. But I think the first session of the match, India will be more than happy to take it. 101 for one. What more can you ask? Winning the toss and batting first. And I think the second session will be crucial because this is the session where India needs to up the ante, I would say, rather up the scoring rate a bit. And with 101, I won't say India were big back. Obviously, depth of Padikkal has looked very, very fluent, if you say. And if you can just change your camera, you can show the viewer that it has already started raining, drizzling, and these are all passing stars. As Vaibhav in his weather report has also said that these are all passing stars and the rain might stop sooner or later.
Yeah, it might sooner or it might stop, but currently it has got heavier, and as we see, we have to go in some shade because it has gone heavier. But talking about the weather, as Devashish rightly said, the clouds and Sunday will continue to play this hide and seek game as it has been the case ever since the Indian team has arrived in Galle. Obviously, we have talked about the weather prediction, the forecast of rain is there on 4 of the 5 days, but it won't be a big factor. It won't influence the outcome of the game. Shouldn't be the case, but you never know when it comes to the weather conditions here in this part of the world. But talking about Devdutt Padikkal, he has looked very convincing ever since he's come. His shots, the one that he played against Prabhat Jayasuriya, using his feet, hitting him down the ground, and even to somebody like Kesharan Nuwanta who's getting a lot of drift because of the breeze. So far, Devdutt Padikkal is showing signs that he can make it big in this innings.
Yeah, obviously, as I rightly said, that these are not ideal conditions, and if you get a start, you need to cash in. And for Devdutt Padikkal, because it is paramount for him to score big. I think if you can show our viewers, it has started pouring.
It is pouring down very heavily now, as you can see. But it's a 40-minute break, and everybody would be hoping that by the time the team finishes their lunch, these clouds will vanish and the match will start on time after the lunch. But yes, as we are speaking, Devdutt Padikkal has looked brilliant, and this was the case in the practice game at the NCC where he got his 100. He has looked really good against spin, and he has to make it count. As Devashi said, that this is the opportunity with Devdutt has to make it down now. It is pelting down very heavily now. It is as you can see it is very heavy rains, and we are struggling to get the shed also. So it has got heavier. But again, weather in this part of the world, you never know. The sea breeze can take the clouds away very quickly. But coming to Devdutt Padikkal, this is an opportunity. This test match, obviously, Sai Sudarshan is not there. There are not a lot of top left-handed batters, or you can say top order batters in the squad. So obviously, Devdutt Padikkal will get both the tests, but he has to score big, and he has to cement his place in this series and make it tough for Sai Sudarshan to walk back straight into the playing 11 at number 3 spot. But now let's talk about a bit about Sri Lanka's bowling as well. The way Asita started, he looked well. Lairu Kumara, apart from the couple of deliveries, was all over the place. Again, very inconsistent, erratic with his.
He was even brought for the second spell.
Yeah, 2 over spell.
Yeah, from the pavilion end, he was brought for a 2 over spell. So I think there was always a question about his consistency. Yes, he can bowl quick, but at the same time he has been very wayward, and that is a concern for the Sri Lankan captain, Dhananjaya De Silva, because if you are playing with two fast bowlers, you need to give the breakthrough, which has not been the case with both the fast bowlers. Asita Fernando and Lairu Kumara, both of them hasn't looked like just going through the batting lineup. They have the Indian openers have played them very confidently. So the owners now, and as we speak, the rain has gone very strong. It is just melting down, and there will be a delay. So that we can guarantee. That it won't be the match. The play won't resume immediately after the lunch.
Yeah, now because it has gone heavier, and as you can see, no signs of sun. It has gone completely dark. All the dark clouds are hovering over the Galle International Cricket Stadium. It's completely dark, so there might be a slight delay in the post-lunch session, but we'll have to see. But talking about Sri Lanka's bowling, as Devashi said, Lairu Kumara was wayward. Although he's very experienced, he was part of the last squad as well in 2017. But again, that raises a question that when you have a Vishwa Fernando who is also very experienced, was there in 2017 as well, then why you didn't pick a Vishwa Fernando? Is there an injury concern or what? But playing Lairu Kumara time and time again when he's been an injury-prone bowler, I don't know who is taking these calls, but obviously these are questionable calls. But Devashish, thoughts on Kishara Numanta? I think he used the drift really well, the sea breeze was there, he bowled really well, and he squared Devdutt Padikkal on one occasion, although there was not happening from the wicket, but he was getting the drift in the air.
Yeah, absolutely spot on by Viva. But these are two early days by Viva. That is early day, the first day, first session. As the match progresses, spinners will come into effect. But these are early days. Yes, there has been an odd one or two deliveries by the batsman failed. But I think overall, Sri Lankan bowlers didn't really trouble the Indians. And that is the reason the toss was extremely crucial. Even in fact, I have no doubt whatsoever had Dhananjaya De Silva would have won the toss, he would have also decided to bat first. Exactly. So I think India.
Yeah, exactly. He even said this at the toss that if we wanted to bat first, and obviously in these conditions when you know the spinners will come into play on the second or third day, then obviously teams in subcontinent conditions generally they like to bat first, and that was the case. But India fortunately won the toss and they are batting first, and they would want to bat only once, as you have said, bat once, bat big, post a big first innings total, so that you can outbowl the opposition in the 2 innings. So that this is what India must be planning to do. But yes, this was it. Prabhat Jaiswal also didn't look at his best, apart from a couple of deliveries, either too full or too short. So clearly he's struggling. In the last 80 overs that he has bowled at this venue, has only taken 1 wicket, and that is very surprising for a bowler who has taken 81 most of his wickets at this venue. So yes, good signs for Indian team. The Indian batters have played Prabhat Jaiswal really well so far. So yes, it remains to be seen what will be the approach of KL Rahul in the second session, how Devdutt Padikkal will bat, when the game will resume after the lunch session, because it is currently pelting down heavily. So we'll keep a close eye on everything, and we'll keep reporting everything from episodes. For now, it's bye. But do join us in the post tea session.